Hello ladies and gentlemen, Aditi once again on InnerWorldRevealed, and in this vlog we're going to talk about a very interesting new technique in numerology called the table of events. Numerology, like any other field of studies, is not a closed field at all. It is open to a lot of research and experimenting. And once you begin to learn more and more about numerology, you would happen to find your own tricks and techniques. So we are today, as you know, going to talk about the technique called table of events. So what is this table of events technique all about? Now, we all know that in numerology we work with two very basic details of a person, one of which is the date of birth, another one is the name at birth. And from these two very basic details, we are able to find the core numbers and the cyclic numbers. The core numbers outline the basic characteristics of the person, and the cyclic numbers outline the momentum of time that the person would be receiving. Now, in some of my previous vlogs, I have already discussed about how we could be deriving certain cyclic numbers like the pinnacles, the periods, the personal months and the personal years from the date of birth. We've learned quite a bit about it in a lot of vlogs which I have discussed before. But then, so far, we have not discussed about any technique which can be deriving these cyclic numbers from the birth's name, and it is possible to be predicting the nature of the upcoming time straight from the birth name as well. And when you judge this particular thing in combination with the other cyclic numbers, the result can be extremely accurate. So you have to watch this next part of the video very carefully to find out how this table of events actually works. It can be a little confusing, but then it is actually simple. You can easily learn it and just find out how it works and find out what your numbers are going to be.
So let us consider any name, any fictional name, and I'm running short on ideas, so let us consider my name only, Aditi Ghosh. Okay, so let us now increase the spaces between the letters and decrease the size of the text, because we're going to be accommodating a lot of numbers above and below the letters. And first of all, we have to find the numeric values of all the letters from the Pythagorean alphabet chart, which is this. So you can see the numeric values out here. A, J and S are the ones, B, K and T are the 2s, C, L and U are the 3s, and so on. So let's follow this chart and put the numeric values above the letters like this. So Aditi is 14929 and Ghosh is 78618. And many of you have middle names also, and be sure that you use your full name at birth, first, middle and last, all of it. Now, what we will place below the letters of the name are the ages that we will be deriving from the numeric values of these letters. So let us begin. First, we have A equals 1, and that's the first letter of the name, and we would put the numeric value itself below the letter A as it is. So here we go, 1 below A. Now this 1 below A has to be added with the numeric value of the next letter D, which is 4. What we get is a 5, and let's place 5 below the next letter D. Now add 5 to the numeric value of the next letter I, which is 9, and what we derive is 14, and I have placed 14 below this next letter I, and I'm running short on space again. Now in the same way, add 14 to the numeric value of the next letter T, and what we get is 16, and I have placed 16 below T. and again at 16 with the numeric value of the next letter I, and what we get is 25, and let's put it below I. Now you see we're going to be working with the first name separately and the last name separately, and I'll be soon explaining you why. So the letter which is next is not G but A again. So add 25 to the numeric value of A, which is 1, and we get 26, and place the 26 and begin the next row of numbers. So by this method we can go on deriving till any age, 30, 39, 41, and I'm choosing to stop at 75, but you could just go on and on. Now in the similar way we have to deal with the last name as well separately. So we derive all the numbers like this, and all these numbers that we have derived and placed below the letters of the name are indicative of specific age spans. If I have a first name and a last name, then at any particular age span I'd be running 2 cycles at a time. The first name would be indicative of cycles of the conscious, and the last name is indicative of the cycles of the subconscious. And many of you have middle names as well, and in that case you'd be running 3 cycles at a time. Now, from the age 0 to 1, as you can see, this age falls under the letter A in the cycles of the conscious and letter G in the cycles of the subconscious. You see, till the age of 7 years, it is the cycle of G out there. Now, if you would like to know about any particular age, say how would be the momentum of time, say at the age of 20 years. So let us locate that age now. Under the first name it comes under the letter I, as you can see. The age of 16 to 25 years falls under I, and then the cycle of I ends. And in the last name it falls under O. So the experiences at the age of 20 years would be a mix of energies indicated by the vibrations I and O. I is 9 and O is 6, as you can see. So find out what would be the momentum and nature of this particular age span by learning about the vibrations 9 and 6. 9 as a temporary delineation is indicative of a time of transformation. It is usually considered to be a period of closures when all the things which are not necessary in your life would be ending. And because 9 is a cycle of closures, it can be an emotional one. 9 is ever changing yet bound to its original roots. 9 is also 6 reversed. Both 6 and 9 together, as you can see, have a lot of creative energy. So a cycle of 6 and 9 would be concerned with beautifying and improvising things around. 6 is also indicative of home and children. So the person during a 6 and 9 cycle would be primarily concerned about home and children. A person during this time would be having a lot of homebound responsibilities.
So this is how we could be judging each age span for a particular person using this particular technique. So obviously you're using it for yourself, and if you reflect back upon your past and if you compare it with the cyclic meanings of the vibrations which you're deriving right now, you could find striking similarities. So obviously you're deriving the numbers and you are getting a clearer idea about what your future momentum is going to be. So for that you also need to know the cyclic meanings of each number from 1 to 9, and I have covered these numbers in brief in this particular log. If you especially watch the later part of the log, you can get to know about it. So find out what the meanings of these numbers are. That could be sorting out a lot of confusions that you have in life, that could be answering to a lot of dilemma that you have in life, and you would be getting a more clearer sense of direction in life. So that'll be all for today. If you have liked watching the log and have found it to be useful, please hit a like, and if you didn't like watching it, please hit a dislike. But in any case, do leave a feedback, because I would love to get your feedback. So please comment below and do not forget to subscribe. I would be back with a lot more interesting stuff. Stay tuned. Have a nice time. Bye bye.